And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we are going to talk about how to prioritize for long-term joy, bliss, and happiness. If you start from scratch, you've never seen this channel before, or you have seen this channel before, but you don't know where to start, okay? I'm going to give you the outline today, trying to keep it simple for the youngest person to be able to apply this, okay? And let's just get started. First of all, what do you need to do in order for you to have long-term joy, bliss, and happiness? We got to begin with the end in mind. Joy, bliss, and happiness comes from you having massive amounts of abundance, okay? Because you want an abundance of happiness, you might as well have abundance in everything else. Does that make sense? Like, that's kind of how you get abundance and happiness, is by you having abundance of everything that it is that you want. Correct? Okay? Because you can't have a shortage of things or people in your life, or basically goals. You can't have a shortage of those things and have an abundance of happiness. Okay? To have an abundance mindset, and to get that abundance and happiness that I'm talking about, we gotta begin with that. Because if you don't understand that you can actually get that happiness, then you're gonna give up once I start telling you what to do, okay? The long-term picture, what is it that creates a quality of life? Relationships. Always relationships. If you're a loner and you never want to be around people or whatever it is, you're never gonna have happiness at the levels that you desire. In order for you to be happy, you got to become important, because that's a fundamental thing that all of us desire, is to be important. Okay? So how do you get important? How do you become important? By making other people important. Okay? But we got to prioritize, because there's some people that we could make important in our lives, but then over time our importance diminishes. That's not good. We need to create win-win situations with the other people that we want to make important in order for them to make us important. We got to make people happy, but you got to be wise about who you make happy, because if you're investing in people, when you invest time and effort and energy in people, it's an investment. So you got to look at that. Am I investing wisely here? What is my return on investment on investing in this person from a happiness standpoint? Okay? Because you want to make sure that you invest in people that are going to help your happiness, right? And people that are going to elevate you to the next level in your life, if that makes sense. So the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your happiness and the quality of your success, and how fired up and excited you are about success. And very often the reason why you lose people, you don't understand people skills, and you don't understand female nature. One of the biggest people that you don't want to lose in your life is your sexual partners, right? If you understand what this channel is about. So we got that covered. We got systems for that. Just know that that is the long-term picture. We want to make you happy. That's success. Okay, everyone wants it, but how do you get there? Some people say that, it's not about getting to happiness. Happiness is the path, Like, what is the path towards getting to happiness? No, you got to be happy now. That's the path. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I understand what you're saying, because there's something called the happiness advantage. The happier you are, the more successful, the more success you're going to have. So the goal is really to figure out how to be happy right now while thinking abundantly, so that you can achieve huge things in your life, so that you can become more and more important, so that you can get more and more power. Okay, but power in the positive sense, from its regular definition being the ability to do. So we want to elevate your performance so that you are able to solve any problem that comes your way, right? Instead of becoming a problem stacker, or remaining a problem stacker, I should say, because that's what most people do. You have a problem, but you don't solve it, and so you get another problem, and then you stack them up and up and up and up and up and up, and that doesn't work, right? You want to become a problem solver, so that when you get a problem, you solve it. But you're excited about problems because you want to solve them. Does that make sense? And the better you solve problems, the more happy you will get, because you have the ability to solve anything that you want to solve. Does that make sense? Okay, so we understand the long-term picture now, but that long-term picture, if it's not applied in the now, in the current circumstance that you're in, it's worthless. It's kind of like religious people, no offense, but people who have their, their heads in the clouds so much. I used to be one of them. Kind of still am in some aspect, okay? But I'm beginning to understand that there's a 50-50 aspect to this. You can't just have your head in the clouds knowing that in the future you will become rich. In the future you will, go to heaven. In the future you'll do this, that, and the other. But then the direction of your actions speak louder than words. They speak louder than your destination, if that makes sense. Like, you not applying what you know is necessary for you to achieve your long-term dreams and goals is not going to take you to your long-term dreams and goals. Does that make sense? So we got to bring that long-term picture into the now. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys today in How to Prioritize 101. Let's see. Come on. Let's get the focus back here. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Hold on. Let's see. It worked. Okay. So, number one, I want to help you guys understand this in terms of money, okay? Because life it's not about money. Money, in terms of, happiness, you can't buy happiness with money type thing, but you kind of, you're not going to be able to buy groceries with happiness, okay? You got to have money. So those two are combined. But what I'm trying to help you guys understand is we're going to compare this to a repayment schedule, a debt repayment schedule of you fixing your life. Okay? So there's three phases to this. You've got pay down your debts, and then you've got make money, meaning create savings, accumulate some cash flow, okay? And then massively exponentially grow your cash flow. But we're going to compare that system and that, that procedure, those action steps with your life. So we're not talking money here, we're talking about your life. What is the debt repayment system? What am I talking about? Well, right now, you're not starting at point zero, okay? Like, if you're a person who has money, for example, you start with zero. Let's say you started with zero, you don't have any debts, but so you start from point zero. Fantastic. Now it's just about making money and then exponentially growing the money. But all of you guys, okay, all of you guys, including myself, very often, we're starting in the debt repayment place. Not in terms of money. I hope that you guys are getting what I'm trying to say. But in terms of your life. What's debts in your life? I'll tell you what your debts are, okay? I want to have my notes out because I really wrote some powerful stuff here. Okay, depression is a debt, is a form of debt. It's not about money. Depression is you being in the past. You see, you're not in the now if you're depressed. You're in the past, okay? So we got to figure out how to get rid of that depression in order for you to get to point zero. Does that make sense? It's because we want to create exponential growth in the future, but you can't create exponential growth if you're struggling with issues of the past. That is holding you back. That's like emotional baggage and trauma and all of that crap that you've got carried with you. Your low self-esteem, your low confidence, the beliefs that you have inside your brain, your stinking thinking, your bad attitude, the way that you approach life is absolutely horrible, perhaps. That's you being in the past, meaning those are debts that we need to pay. Okay? We need to get rid of that stuff. We need to get you fired up. We need to get rid of your depression. We need to get you to have a good attitude. We need to get you to get rid of, the next thing, your addictions. Okay? What does your addictions have to do with this? Well, your addictions basically prevent you from being at square 1.0. Okay? You're not at zero moving towards your dreams and goals. You're actually minus. Okay? If you've got addictions. Because your addictions will stop you from being consistent. Your addictions will stop you from consistently showing up every single day, consistently over a long period of time. So we got to get rid of your addictions in order for you to actually make any progress. Does that make sense? So what is it? What are some of these addictions that you have? The biggest addiction was the first one you ever got. And it's not necessarily computer games, even though very often that starts before the main problem that I'm going to talk about right now. But there's one that is even bigger problem than computer games. And that is you watching porn and you masturbating. Okay? That is the biggest and the first addiction that ever happens in the young man's life. Okay? That is an addiction. You got to realize that. Oh, if I wanted to, I could stop. You know, I could go 30 days without masturbation. Really? Okay. Can you go 90 days? Okay, let's see. Give it a shot, man. Keep me updated. Comment down below every single day on my videos and tell me, bro, this was easy, piece of cake. I'm at 90 days now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that you can actually do that, because when you are ejaculating on a continual basis, you are hypersexual. Okay? You're hypersexualized. Meaning that you're always looking for opportunity to get laid, or always looking for an opportunity to get a girlfriend, or always needy, or always in front of your computer watching porn, or doing something that is not bringing you towards long-term joy, bliss, and happiness. Does that make sense? You're actually creating a destructive path leading you away from joy, bliss, and happiness and towards depression and neediness. And not having a girlfriend, or losing the girlfriend you have, or losing the wife that you have, or whatever it is that we're talking about. Does that make sense? We want to help you to get control over your sexual urges, because that's one of the biggest things preventing guys from success today. Trust me. If we could literally, if men only handle this one, this is why I prioritize this so much on my channel. Also because you guys want this topic so much, which is great. But this is the foundation for joy, bliss, and happiness. Practicing semen retention. It is. Because you've been ruining your dopamine receptors for years. And the way to heal them is to stop. Okay? Again, it's like when you keep masturbating, keep watching porn, what you're doing is you are digging yourself a grave, okay? And you're digging it deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper the more you go into that forest, okay? You gotta stop digging at some point. Here, it stops. Now, the moment you stop digging, your dopamine receptors begin to function again. They haven't worked for a long period of time, but once you get past 30 days, things begin to improve, but actually they decline. But then when you get past 45 days, then things become better and your dopamine receptors are beginning to get healed. At 60 days, you feel great. At 90 days, you feel fantastic, and you've cemented that habit into your life of not participating in the addiction of needing women. Semen retention allows you to never, ever, ever be needy when it comes to women ever again. Wow, what a blessing. You guys have no idea how much that thing is worth, okay? It's gold. Or Bitcoin. Okay, so what I'm saying here, you gotta get rid of your addictions. That's the biggest one. If you can get rid of that one, you'll get rid of all the others. Trust me. You get rid of that one, you will be able to get rid of all the others. What are some of the others that you might have? Alcohol addiction, cigarette addiction, drug addiction, microdosaging addiction, whatever addiction you might have, I want you to get rid of them. How can I get rid of them? Okay, hold on. We're getting to it. Other addictions. People. You got some people you're addicted to. Your biggest one is maybe your girlfriend if you got one. Okay? Should you get rid of her? That depends a lot, okay? If she's not the one for you for the rest of your life that you're committed to for life, yes, get rid of her, okay? But do it nicely and figure out if she, DM me at Men of High Value to ask me if you should get rid of your girlfriend or not, because in my opinion, 90% of the time you should. If you're married and have kids, no, you shouldn't. If you're married, no, you shouldn't. But if you're engaged and girlfriend, you gotta text me, man. Seriously. Okay. Why is this important? Because you're connected to her reproductive cycle if you've got a girlfriend. So for all of those of you guys who don't have a girlfriend but want a girlfriend, trust me, you don't want a girlfriend temporarily. Eventually you'll get them. Them. Not one, them. But not now. Right now we're trying to set up your foundation here. You're depressed, you're anxious, you've got all these addictions, you're struggling, blah, blah, blah. This is not the right time to attract women into your life, because those women you attract into your life are going to be women that are at your level. What does that mean? It means that if you're depressed and you've got a horrible life and things are difficult and problematic, blah, 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 you're going to attract a woman who has the exact same thing. She's got the same, actually bigger problems that you've got, and she's the best you could get. No offense to your girlfriend, but that's a fact. Okay? You're attracting people who are like you, even though she's your opposite. It's kind of a dual nature to that one, but that's how it works. So if you become fantastic, guess what the women in your life are going to be? Fantastic. Okay, so for now, get rid of them so that the women that you get and commit to for life are fantastic. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's another big one, but the other one is also friends. You gotta get rid of your friends. The friends you got right now, okay, unless they're actually progressing faster than you or equally fast as you, they're going to be left behind. Just from a success standpoint and a happiness standpoint, to the point of where you guys don't kind of relate anymore. You don't relate. It's not the same as it used to be 2 years ago, 5 years ago, or even right now, because you're going to change your life. Do you want to stay depressed, unhappy, anxious, having issues with women and all that crap? No, you don't. You want to follow this channel, subscribe and like, and you want to make changes in your life. And if the people around you don't want that, they're not going to be in your life long term. Because it's your life we're talking about here. And if you're thinking about just a few key people in your life, oh, but he's been my friend for so long and he supported me. And does he support you from a success standpoint? Because if he doesn't, he's not supporting you. Right? You got to spend less time with those people and lots of time with people that you're kind of that you're scared of. In terms of, from a success standpoint, that are way more successful than you are. Those are the people you need to spend time with. And you need to, provide them with value. Anyway, we're going to get to that. But the aspect first is you got to get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. We're still in that first phase process. You understand that this takes time. And it's okay if you fail in the beginning. It's okay if you don't understand the steps, the principles, and all that stuff. That's what you got this channel for. Once you actually immerse yourself in this channel, you're going to be amazed at how simple, not easy, but how simple the step-by-step process is. There's a system to this madness, and I'm giving you that. It's just simple. It's one thing at a time, even though it sounds like a lot. I'm going to give you one solution that's going to solve all of those issues that I've told you just now. Those of you who are on my channel, you guys know exactly what it is. But, okay, from your friend standpoint, okay, if they want to remain where they are and you want to become a multi-millionaire, it's time to screw them, bro. It's time to just leave them behind. You want to, they call you want to hang out, bro? You want to come to this, that, and the other? You're just like, no, bro, I'm busy with this, this, and this. And they're like, bro, you changed, man. Fantastic. Yes. Yes. That's what you should be thinking in your brain. When people tell you that you've changed or that things are different and why don't you come to me with this and that and the other anymore, you should be fired up outside your brain, because that means that you're progressing and you're changing and you're making things happen. Does that make sense? And the last thing is your family. Family. Oh my gosh. It's a big one. It's a huge problem, and they are truly one of the biggest people in your life that are providing you with stinking thinking. Should you give them up completely? No, of course not. They're your family. They're your blood, okay? Which means that, they'll be there forever. But trust me, you've got to leave them for a time, and I'm talking from a time investment and money investment standpoint. Leave them for a time so that you can come back with millions and help them out with their problem stacking. Okay, you're solving bigger problems because they've got tiny, minute problems that, from a worldwide standpoint are very small. Obviously, they're big for them, okay? And we get that and we understand that. But if you're going to solve their big problems that they have, and they are big for them, and what's important to them, it's important to you, well, then you've got to be able to find a way that solves their problem forever. Which means that they need to actually adapt if they're guys. They need to adapt personal development like crazy. How are they going to adapt personal development? By you telling them, oh, you need to do this and you need to do that? No. By you showing them how it's done. By you being an example of success and them be like, bro, man, I got to improve. I got to get better. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have time for their issues and problems anymore. Very often. I mean, 1% of you guys might have some real deep issues with your family. It's not many of you guys that you need to handle, but if they're difficult to handle, you need to hire a coach because it takes time to handle it, but you want to do it quick because you want to get out of the debt repayment cycle. You want to progress to square one, to point zero. Does that make sense? You're still in minus. We need to get you out of there as fast as possible. What's the solution? I'll tell you. There's one video that you need to watch, and it's called The 80-Hour Workweek Solves So Many Problems. There's another one called Get Rid of It. Okay, those two will help you massively in understanding how this process works. What is the 80-hour workweek? Well, you being addicted, to porn, masturbation, to being addicted to alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it is, and you also maybe having money problems, okay, you might be in debt, all that stuff, you have relationships in your life, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. It's preventing you from performing in your life and getting that exponential growth curve. What do? Oh, do I handle one problem at a time and do this, that? No. You do the 80-hour work week. Okay? That will solve all of your problems. Period. That's it. You just got to do the 80-hour work week. What do you mean the 80-hour work week? You have to take yourself out of the problems that you've got, okay? And then you've got to begin to solve other people's problems that are not your family. That preferably has a win-win situation to it, where you actually make money when you're serving other people. Okay? Meaning, get 3 jobs. Get 3 jobs. If you have a business that is actually producing cash flow, maybe you only need 2 jobs. Okay? But I want you to work 80-hour work weeks from now on, and in my opinion, forevermore. That's kind of what I want to say. Okay, but eventually once you get a family, then we can discuss if you want to take it down. But the biggest problem you have in your life right now is a lack of work ethic. Okay, laziness. You're not actually moving towards your dreams and goals. You're not actually moving towards joy, bliss, and happiness. Oh, but I don't think 80-hour work week is gonna give me joy, bliss, and happiness. It won't. Okay? It's gonna get you depressed in the beginning. It's gonna get you to feel like you're in hell. I want that for you. I want that so bad for you. Why? Because this hell will be the only thing that preoccupies your brain. Okay? You'll be like, oh my gosh, why? Why am I doing this? And you'll be preoccupied thinking about and stressing about fulfilling the 80-hour work week, and guess what suddenly disappears out of your life? All of your problems. Amazing how that works. What happens? Your family, they're not spending much time with you anymore, so their voices are not going inside your brain. Yeah, you might have some co-workers, but you're not family, so you don't really care what they say and what they think about you. Does that make sense? From a family standpoint, you care about what your parents tell you. You care about what your siblings are telling you. You care. But you're out of their grasp now because you're busy. You wake up in the morning, you leave the house, you come back in the evening, preferably if, hopefully you don't live with them, but maybe you do. Actually, you can actually live with them if you do the 80-hour work week. If you don't do the 80-hour work week, then don't live with them, please, because you're being influenced and you're in their grasp and they're going to keep you there forever. And they're not even doing it on purpose. It's just what happens. Okay? If you do the 80-hour work week, you actually don't need to move out because you're actually gone. like 95% of the time. Fantastic. Girlfriend, she's gonna be yapping at you. I want to spend time with you. Sorry. 80-hour work week is more important than my girlfriend, okay? And you'll find out if she wants to stay or not. Interesting, okay? Addictions, okay? Porn and masturbation is gonna be a thing of the past. Trust me. Okay, if you've tried things for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, oh, I can't practice semen retention, it's so difficult, blah, blah, blah. It's because you haven't done the 80-hour work week. You can look back. If you've done this for 5 years, you've been studying semen retention on YouTube and you watch a video every single day, oh, how to master semen retention. The only reason you haven't succeeded is because you haven't done the 80-hour work week. Trust me. But promise, okay? You do the 80-hour work week, that thing will be a thing of the past naturally. Simple, easy, no tricks or gimmicks. Simple. 80-hour work week. I love it. I love it. Okay? If you do that, you are paying down your debts, okay? The old you fast. And that's what we want to do. And we want to do that as fast as possible. Okay? So what happens once you're on the 80-hour work week? Okay? You're serving other people. You're being a slave. Temporarily. That's good. Okay? Because there's 5 phases to leadership. For those of you guys who haven't heard it, allow yourself to be led. This is the phase we're starting right now. 80-hour work week, you're allowing yourself to be led by bosses that you don't like. That's okay. You might be lucky and have a boss that you like. If you actually follow my system of applying for 50 to 100 jobs every single day, okay? If you don't know how to do that, you know, like watch more of my videos or DM me at Men of High Value and ask me like, how do I apply for 100 jobs? And I'll help you out, okay? Just to get started, okay? Allow yourself to be led. That's the most important phase in your life right now. Is that very masculine? This is a channel about masculinity. Is it masculine? No, it's not masculine, but in order for you to become ultimately massively masculine, you need to actually go through femininity to get there. You actually have to do something that's feminine. Feminine is following the lead of other people that are better than you or that have, you know, progressed farther than you or that are happy. You just need someone to follow in their footsteps that you know they're genuinely happy and they're massively progressing in their life. Like if you find someone like that, hint, hint, then follow them to the nth degree, okay? Because it's gonna change your life, okay? Simply put. But if you have that, then, oh yeah, where was I? Yeah, service to others, man. It's amazing. The more you serve people, the more you forget yourself. The more you forget yourself, the less problems you have because you forgot about them. Oh, did I have that problem? I forgot. Oh, this is weird. I don't have that problem anymore. I know it disappears. It's just like most things actually just disappear out of your life if you begin to focus on something else because you get what you focus on. Okay? Let's see. Once you're busy with 80 hours, you're going through hell, and this is the next step. You have to find out how to survive. I had a guy from Vietnam who told me he was doing the 80-hour work week for the first time in his life, and he's like, he began to have like stomach issues and like health issues that like caused that were traumatic, and this, that, and the other happened to him automatically once he started the 80-hour work week. And he was like, I don't think this is healthy, you know. And I was like, bro, this is the next step. The next step is you taking care of your sleep, your nutrition, and your exercise. You're increasing your capacity because you don't have capacity in the beginning when you start the 80-hour work week. That's a problem. We got to increase your capacity somehow, right? Low capacity, 80-hour work week, I can't do it. But if you suddenly have gotten those jobs and you're allowing yourself to be led and you don't want to be fired, you'll actually show up. And when you show up, you might be doing a horrible job in the beginning, but hopefully they'll actually keep you on the job. Make sure you don't get fired and, you know, fire up your boss instead of him firing you. That's actually pretty good saying. Fire up your boss before he fires you, okay? Because if you fire him up, he'll always keep you. Like, if you think about it, bosses just want to be fired up. Okay? And if you're making their lives better, they'll keep you forever because so few people are making their lives better. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's really where you're at now. You got to increase your capacity. How do you increase your capacity? Well, over time, this happens naturally because you've taken away all of your problems out of your life. Trust me, they're gonna disappear. As they disappear and your dopamine receptors begin to function a bit better after 45 days because you stopped ejaculating, fantastic. What's also gonna happen is that you're gonna be able now to start the sleep routine. Okay, don't work nights, guys. Find a job that helps you to not work nights. And when I mean nights, between 10 and 6, you shouldn't be really working. There are exceptions to the rule. Okay, I have one guy who starts his work at 5, so he wakes up at 10 to 4, but he goes to bed early. So there's a, you know, you got to make sure you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. In my opinion, 8 hours would be optimal. Okay, do that because that's going to increase your capacity nth degree. Don't take any naps anymore. 80-hour work week requires you to sleep well at night. It increases your capacity. And then nutrition. You got to figure that out. How are you going to be able to do this if you actually don't eat well? This is part of the process, and you learning what it takes to actually function optimally the entire day. Because you're going to feel drowsy, you're going to use caffeine, you're going to do this, that, and the other. You're going to have spikes up and down emotionally all over the place. You want to be top optimal, shape, form all the time. Every day, you're just performing. You're an athlete doing 80-hour work week. Does that make sense? Look at it as a professional sport. I'm doing 80-hour work week, man. It's like, it's hard. It's difficult, and I understand that. But it's going to solve all your problems. So you just got to start, okay? And then you solve the nutrition, and then we're also solving the exercise aspect. Do you need a lot of exercise? No, not that much. But can you do 15 minutes if you struggle in the beginning, if you have weight issues or whatever it is, you just need more something in order for you to have capacity to do this 80-hour work week, then you need exercise a little bit every single day. But be wise about it. Don't go overboard. Don't do more than half an hour. Stop going to the gym, okay? It's ridiculous to go to the gym if you haven't done the 80-hour work week yet. Prioritize. This is what that this video is called, is prioritization. How to prioritize towards living a life full of joy, bliss, and happiness. This is it. Okay, the exercise aspect comes later because you'll have cash to hire a PT that will get you results within weeks, okay, and just a few months. You don't have to use 3 years to get to your optimal shape if you've got cash, because then you can pay people, because personal development is a team sport. Stop trying to personally develop on your own. You got to begin to learn how to lead others to help you to become amazing, to become important. Okay, so stop thinking that it's just you in this world and you got to do everything on your own. In the beginning, you have to do that because you start from minus. But once you get to plus, then we're talking. Okay, so that's why I'm saying don't waste your time at a gym. This is great. This is amazing. Why do you want to increase your capacity? Because you don't want to stay in those jobs forever. Which means that you want to increase your capacity so that you can work 90 hours a week, okay? Or get to the point where you can have a side hustle that produces cash flow as well so that you can quit your last or least wanted job. That's how you get out of it, because you've got extra capacity after you finish the 80-hour work week. So you start a side hustle on the side, building a business. This is how you pay down debt, actually. This is a debt repayment system, where when you pay down debt, you tackle the small things first, and then you find side hustles, and then you pay down the small debt first, and then you increase blah, blah, blah over time. But I'm just applying this to your life, and it's an amazing system. Okay, also, be financially wise with your expenses. Have a max cap of how much you're willing to spend on a monthly basis. And I'm talking be extreme. Take every principle to the extreme and see if it works. Are you able to live on 50% of your after-tax dollars or fiat or whatever it is that you're using? Are you able to live on half, okay, less than half of your after-tax dollars, so that you can set the other half aside and begin investing on the side? Investing or saving up for your businesses in the future. Saving right now is ridiculous because they're printing dollars and fiat like crazy, okay? So you need to invest in an asset that most likely will appreciate. I recommend gold, silver, Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin's good, but no financial advice. But do you understand how that works? So you want to live on less than half of your after-tax dollars. I've repeated myself a lot because I wanted to get in here, okay? Until you can live on 30% of your after-tax dollars, until you can live on 10% of your after-tax dollars. This is how you need to think. If you do that, you're for sure going to be spending less than you make. And that's really the optimal goal. Well, I already do that. Great. Let's put it up a notch, okay? So that you can take it to the next level in your life. You want to change, you want to massively improve and create exponential joy, bliss, and happiness? Well, let's get there faster, okay? The less you spend, the better. But the cool part is that you don't have to like live on nastiness and nasty food and all that stuff, okay? Live in an optimal way that actually gives you capacity. Because if you're scrimping saving in such a way that it affects your work and your 80-hour work week, then we got a problem. So you got to make sure that you spend enough on yourself so that you can keep that up, but spend less than you should. Does that make sense? What's the next thing? Okay. All of this, if you do this for 3 months, it begins to become a habit. If you do this for 3 months, all of the things that I've just mentioned, 80-hour work week for 3 months, this will become a habit. Eventually you'll be like, this is who I am. That's what I do. Take it or leave it. You know, this is my standard for my life and I love it. In the beginning, you're going to be depressed at work. That's good. That's fine. It's wonderful. You want to get to the point where, because of your increased capacity, because of your semen retention, because of your attitude is leveling up, because you're listening to this channel and becoming fired up outside your brain, now you're beginning to have an amazing attitude, meaning you're actually going to be happy while you're in hell because you know you've got an exit strategy. If you don't know that you've got an exit strategy, an 80-hour work week would be very, very painful because you don't want to get stuck there for 5 years. That's horrible. You want to make sure that this is a process that you get out of within 12 to 18 months. Okay? If you have a coach, you should be able to get out of it within 6 to 12 months, depending upon your situation. But what if it took 2.5 years? Because it could. Because some of you guys have really difficult circumstances and, you know, and it takes you time to get out of it and it takes you time to understand this channel and to develop belief, and sometimes you just watch my channel once a month, once a week or whatever. No, you need this every day. Do you know how many videos I've made that you can go back and watch that teaches you this philosophy? I've made tons of videos and listen to them 2.0x and then listen to them 3 times at least, minimum. Every single video should be listened to 3 times. Bro, you've got 1 hour videos, man. Yeah, I've got a second channel too where I have 1 hour videos, and that's the Women of High Value channel. Make sure you understand that philosophy and how female nature and female psychology works, okay? Subscribe to that one as well, link in the description. But do you understand what I'm saying? Because you want to brainwash yourself towards success. What's next? Okay. You know what happens as you develop this? Your confidence increases because you're doing things that other people are not willing to do. Okay? When you do that, other people are going to be amazed by you. They're going to be like, wow, bro, you have 3 jobs? That's insane, bro. I don't know how you do it. Why? Why do you do that? And then you'll be like, bro, I feel kind of good, you know? And then you're like, you have a smile on your face for the rest of your day because of the compliments that you got from work. Do you understand what I mean? Because you're changing, you're becoming different. You're actually becoming valuable. Who are the people that are valuable in life? The people we look up to, the people that are doing things that we don't think we can do. You're now doing that when you're doing the 80-hour work week. What, you don't masturbate? What? I don't think I could do that. You don't drink alcohol? Oh, no, man, I need partying at weekends. Well, you should get a girlfriend. You don't want a girlfriend? What? Okay, like, do you get what I'm saying? You're completely at a different level than people if you follow my channel. Completely! Which is going to give you confidence in general up anyway. Okay? Amazing. Okay. The goal is now to make twice as much as your least desired job. Once you make twice as much from a side hustle, I'm talking about side hustles now, then you can quit your 3rd job, right? And then you have more time for your side hustle, but you keep the 80 hours. Very important. You don't have any free time now just because you quit that job. You have your side hustle, but you're investing more time in it now, which produces more cash flow, which means you can quit now the 2nd job once you have twice as much as that 2nd job. Okay, write this down because this is important information. And then once you're making twice as much from your business, preferably $10,000 from your business next to your side hustle, then you can quit your job because you've made $10,000 a month, okay, before the hyperinflation started. Okay, this is 2021 February, and you're progressing now. Things are actually happening. You're free. For the first time in your life, you're free. And you know, being free is an amazing feeling, okay? Knowing that you'll never, ever, ever have a job ever again in your life other than, you know, a self-employed type of freelance job, that's different. Working for other people or working remotely when you're a freelancer or self-employed, you can quit anytime you want. And you can like hire, you know, you can have 100 different projects over time and then you choose who you work with. That's kind of what happens when you're self-employed and you're doing it right. You got the foundation now. Guess what? You're now at, you're not even at zero anymore. You're at zero once you started the 80-hour work week. The debt's paid. You're gone, like the addictions are gone, the girlfriend's gone, the friends are gone, the family's wondering if you're ever coming back. And you will, right? Maybe you will. And now you've got you're at zero. Yes, after 3 months. Okay? Now you're beginning to develop savings and cash flow and investment money. You're seeing your Bitcoin, your Ethereum rise, okay? And then it crashes, but then you keep buying the dip. And then what happens over time, those 18 months, you now have a massively strong foundation and you're never going back. You're never putting yourself in a difficult circumstance ever again. There's no more debt. You're not going to take on, okay, you might use debt in order for you to get rich because that's using leverage, but that's a completely different story. I'm just talking to you guys now in terms of, you know, the problems in your life that you didn't need in order for you to succeed. That makes sense. Hope you guys love this. So 1, take care of the minus. Let's do a quick recap. Number 2, you add the plus. Meaning the 80-hour work week will automatically give you plus because you're spending less than your after-tax dollars. And then you're doubling the plus by getting a side hustle that begins to give you more and more and more and more income so that you can quit your job slowly but surely over time. One career that I suggest for those of you who don't know what kind of side hustle, but you've done the 80 hours, contact me and hire me as a coach. That's one thing, okay? That's like half the deal because, like, bro, you'll super speed towards success. Just ask my clients. They're down below in the description. Send them a text message or DM on Instagram and ask them, you know, take all 10 of them and ask them, well, how has this benefited your life? Like, how is this, you know, helping you as a, you know, to progress towards your success path, whatever. And you'll find from my clients why they're clients of mine, okay? And I haven't told them that you should do this, but they'll know as they watch this video maybe, okay? But what happens over time is, oh, the best career right now is becoming a blockchain developer. Hands down, link in the description, become an Ivan on Tech blockchain developer. You'll be amazed, okay, about what happens in your life after the course. Not during the course because the course is hard, but after the course you'll be like, thank you, Joseph. You changed my life. You're welcome. And let's see. And number 4. So one was taking care of the minus. We've done that. 2 was add the plus, meaning spend less than you have, double your money, 80-hour work week. And then 3 is your side hustle that helps you to quit those jobs over time. And number 4, now that you have a business, 10x it. Okay? 100 exit, 1,000 exit, 10,000 exit, okay? And then you come back and thank me later. That's prioritization. Once you've made at least $100,000 or 1 Bitcoin, once it gets to $100,000, then you can come to me, hire me as a coach, and tell me I'm ready for 3 in love. You're like, what's 3 in love? Check out my channel, especially the Women of High Value channel. Again, link in the description, because that could motivate you outside your brain. What if I told you that women are literally designed to not be alone with you in a relationship? What if I told you that women were programmed to be with other women 3 is the magic number, okay, them 3 together, in a relationship with you. How fired up outside your brain would you be knowing that that's what you're gonna get? And they're high quality women because you've laid the foundation and progressed massively, etc., etc. Does that make sense? That's the potential. I want you to get to the level of having that strong financial foundation where you can actually begin that type of lifestyle, but only do it once you receive the stamp of approval. Don't get started before you get the stamp of approval, because you ruin these women's lives, okay? If you know what you're doing, you're not ruining their lives. If you don't know what you're doing, you will, okay? And you want to be on the part that doesn't ruin their lives. Which one is the hardest? That's a quiz. Let's see if you guys can comment down below and tell me which phase is the hardest part. Okay? Minus, add the plus, double the plus, or 10x the plus. Which one's the hardest? Phase 1. Okay? That first phase of leaving all of that crap behind, that's the hardest part. And it's okay that it's hard. You might need help. You might need a coach. You might need assistance. You might need someone to talk to. You might need, a friend to help you along the way who understands these principles. Get that, okay? But most importantly, more important than getting a coach, is doing the 80-hour work week. If you do the 80-hour work week eventually, and you start that side hustle, eventually you will afford a coach, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you got tons of value out of it. Seriously, this is like prioritization 101. I gave you the step-by-step process, okay? There's no baby that puts a cock in, a cog in the wheel. Isn't that what it's called? Like a stick in the wheel that makes you collapse, whatever. Okay, that's kind of what a baby does. Okay. Don't have babies before you set up your financial foundation and you've secured a lifestyle for your women. Okay, don't have babies. Don't have girlfriend, because it's so you're not gonna do the 80-hour work week if you stuck being needy. Okay, in my opinion, that's one of the best things you can do for yourself, is to do voluntary celibacy. Anyway, let's handle the questions if there are any, and then we'll finish up. I hope that the video worked. Okay, let's see. When you're not tied to lust getting laid, life just gets so much easier. Essentially, I'm saving my energy and growing. You have so much energy, you're literally glowing. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Semen retention gang. Why are the first 30 days of SR so difficult? Fantastic question. I'm going to explain that now, and if you guys have more questions, this is your last chance before you can comment down below, and I'll answer that one later anyway. But I'm going to handle the first 30 days first. Why is it so difficult? Well, first of all, it's difficult because you're still a child. It's difficult because you're still living in your childhood. Okay? Think about this. When you are born, you're feminine. And when you're feminine, it means that you can't control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Okay? And as you grow up, you still can't do it. Especially if you begin with the addiction of masturbation and porn. Because if you start that, you still can't control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, because you're distracted everywhere. Hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, hot girl, and you're like needy all the time. That's not gonna help you get, anywhere. And what happens then is you struggling so much, and then you stay in your femininity. Okay? That's why it's hard. Because to be feminine and make changes in your life is extremely difficult. This is why you need accountability. You need someone that you can follow. Because if you don't have anyone to follow, you're gonna follow your emotions. Okay, femininity has only one master, and that's emotion. Masculinity is the master of emotion. You're not masculine yet. So you need someone to help you along, to take you by the hand, kinda, and then help you do the 80-hour work week and believe in you and help you to get past it. Why is the 30 days so difficult? It's because you're actually getting rid of your femininity. Like, the first 30 days is a measurement of your femininity. If you struggle to do 30 days of SR, it means that you're extremely feminine. Extremely feminine. Because you can't control, you can't control yourself. What's up with that? Like lack of self-control. Come on, bro. Do you understand what I mean? Like that's femininity. The moment you've actually passed 30 days, you've proven that you're able to get over the ups and downs, all over the place emotions without giving in to temptation. Okay? So it's kind of like a difficult test, put you through hellfire just to make sure that you're serious and just to make sure that you're actually going to go through with this, and also to rinse out all of the crap that has been going on in your brain, not only from a thought perspective but also your hormones, and like your brain is literally cleansing itself. It gets worse before it gets better. And that's basically how SR works. It gets very worse before it gets better. But once you get past 30 days, it's really a breeze. Kind of after 45 days, to be honest. Okay, question. What do you think about fasting with SR? To be honest with you, it's sure, but it could be stressful. And you wanna take away as much stress as possible in order for your body to not be stressed. Because if you're stressed, then you might be anxious, and if you're anxious, then you're gonna be like, oh, I need to ejaculate. Do you understand what I mean? So I personally, I don't recommend fasting the first 30 days at least, but maybe someone, might tell me differently. Oh no, fasting helps you to do SR. I don't know, because fasting is an up and down thing. It's not something that you normally do for 30 days, right? So it's not consistent. So, but I mean, you could do intermittent fasting, consistently, but it's like, why do you want to diversify? Stop diversifying. You're like, fasting literally for me is a diversification, and it's a trick or a gimmick to help you to get out of your depression or help you to get out of your whatever system. No, keep it simple. 80 hours. That's it. 80 hours a week work for someone else is going to solve all your problems. So in my opinion, don't even think about fasting right now. Okay? Once you get past 90 days, you can do whatever you want as long as you keep 80-hour work week working. And then you can test out different things and whatever. But in my opinion, just keep it simple. 80-hour work week, and then follow the program that I've outlined on this video. Day 15 going on. Fantastic. Amazing. I'm in depression in the first 30 days. Fantastic, man. You gotta love the depression, man. Embrace it. Be say like, hello, depression. I'm gonna see you for one last time, so I might as well give you a hug. Bro, awesome. Sayonara. And then suddenly you're like, now you're like chuckling a bit, and now you're basically like, yeah, I actually don't have to be that depressed. But your brain will tell you that you're depressed. So you're kind of having a struggle with your brain. Actually, the only reason why you're depressed is because you're not doing the 80-hour work week, okay? You might be depressed while you're doing the 80-hour work week, but in my opinion, you actually don't have time to be depressed if you always have something to do the entire day. You're like stressed because you got to do this, that, and the other, and it doesn't allow you time to be depressed. Depression usually comes from boredom, and boredom only comes from not serving people, right? My son always comes to me and tells me, oh, I'm bored, and I'm like, he's not serving people, but I'm not expecting him to because he's 10 years old. But if you are bored as a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old, it's because you're not serving people, and that's really how you need to think about it. How to make rest compatible with 80 hours a work week. Isn't it dangerous to work so many hours if you can't rest? No, it's not dangerous unless you are working, not even then. 80-hour work week is 12 hours a day. It's actually 11 and a half hours a day. If you work 7 days a week, it's 11 and a half hours a day. And taxi drivers are expected to work 12 hours a day. Like at least in most countries that I know of, it's like 12-hour shifts. You work 12 hours, and then the other dude takes the car for 12 hours, and then you get the car back. You work 12 hours. Do you understand what I mean? So like even taxi drivers work 12 hours a day. So why can't you work 12 hours a day, 11 and a half hours a day? So there's no need for, if you actually take those 8 hours of sleep seriously, there is no need for rest. Well, what more rest do you need than 8 hours? 8 hours is amazing. If you're doing construction or doing something that like really requires a lot of physicality, I understand you might need 9 or 10 hours of work. But usually the reason why you need so much sleep is because you don't eat enough. So it's like lack of nutrition and your body goes into conservation mode and oh, I need to sleep, you know, instead of giving your body proper nutrition. So it's all about sleep, nutrition, and exercise. And if you do those three, you'll actually manage to increase your capacity to get to the 80-hour work week. Yes, you are right, sir. I'm not serving people. I'm only doing SR. There you go. Okay, so what are you going to do today or tomorrow? You know, let's get started. Let's serve people, man. It's one of the most wonderful things in the world to serve people with a smile on your face, man. If you learn how to serve people and enjoy it, and you want to serve people, your life changes. Most people go through life depressed because they hate serving other people. They want to be served. But the fun part is that the people who learn how to serve people and be fired up outside their brain about it eventually get people who are fired up about serving them. Amazing how that works, isn't it? That's how the universe, you know, has programmed this world to be. I only study for college plus trading crypto. Very bad idea. Quit school. Quit school. How many times do I need to say this? No offense to you, you know, Bawana. But I think you've been on my channel for quite a while. Didn't we make a video that one time? If that's you, I'm not sure if that's you. But seriously, quit school. If you haven't watched my quit school video, you'll find it. You know, 6 months ago or whatever, I made a video called Quit School. Okay, you need to watch it 10 times if you're still studying. I'm serious. Okay, quit school. Quit school. Quit school. Quit school. Quit. You know the most effective way to quit school is to don't have time for it. If you're doing the 80-hour work week, you won't have time for school. You won't have time to study. Okay? And if you're trading crypto, I highly suggest you don't, because you I mean, trading crypto, you're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your crypto. So, and the way the reason why I know is because, like, yeah, I know. If you're investing in crypto, that's a different story because you don't really need to educate yourself that much on it, even though you do. But if you're only trading, meaning like you're trying with leverage and you're trying to trade here and there, you're gonna lose your money, bro. Like, if you don't know what you're doing. And most people, 90% of people don't know what they're doing. If you want to learn to know what you're doing, then there's a link down in the description. There's a course that costs about $3,000, but that is an amazing crypto course I recommend for anyone who wants to learn how to trade. But if you haven't done an expensive course on it, and then I don't recommend it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are absolutely awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one.